Oil is the driving power of war. The German oil position is tight. For the Luftwaffe, the submarines, for every offensive, Germany is consuming millions of tons of the highest grade fuels. Behind the front, oil is available only for vital needs: transport, industry, agriculture, shipping. In 1942, the net production of oil in Axis Europe and its consumption were about the same, 16 million tons. Stocks are low. At most, no more than 2 million tons are available for emergency use. Therefore, at the present time, any extensive break in production would have serious, almost immediate consequences for the German Reich. Destruction of only 15 targets can affect this break because of the nature of the European oil industry. German sources of crude oil fall far short of her needs. In her drive to the east, Germany seized the oil fields of Romania, but failed to reach the Near East and the Caucasus. Of the total oil consumed in Axis Europe in 1942, 30% had to be produced synthetically by two main processes: Bergius hydrogenation and Fischer-Tropsch synthesis. The bulk of this is produced by the Bergius process in only 15 hydrogenation plants. Their destruction would mean the loss of 4 million tons, the amount they produced in 1942. It would also mean the loss of a potential 1.5 million tons, the only significant increase in prospect for German oil supplies for 1943. The hydrogenation process produces oil from any coal, tar, or oil feed. Beginning with pulverized lignite carried in heavy oil, the feed is compressed and mixed with hydrogen, passes through a heat exchanger into the reaction chamber, where hydrogenation takes place in the presence of a catalyst. Gas oils are formed, pass back through the heat exchanger, giving off much of their heat to the fresh feed. Then they go into a cooler where the excess hydrogen is taken off to be used again, and finally arrive at the fractionation unit. Here, a poor grade crude oil is the main end product of the first cycle, which begins with lignite. This is recycled as feed. At the end of the second cycle, it comes out of the fractionating unit mainly as gasoline and middle oil. Recycling this middle oil results in maximum production of gasoline. Hydrogenation has the great advantage of producing the most important oil products in the proportion wanted. Destruction of the hydrogenation plants would therefore deprive the German oil economy of its great flexibility in adapting supplies to needs. 5 of the plants now produce 80% of Germany's aviation gasoline. Their elimination could be met in a short time by switching over the other plants to aviation fuel. If all 15 were destroyed, however, Germany would have to produce aviation fuel by other means, and it is doubtful that she could reach more than half of present production. Most of the plants are well inside the 800-mile radius of London. The Italian plants are 500 miles from American bases in North Africa. Built near coal supplies, many of the hydrogenation plants have been camouflaged. Their exact location and plans, however, are known. In bombing these plants, the most vital spot is usually the large compressor house. Other aiming points in the vital area are hydrogen-making units, vulnerable to secondary explosions, high-pressure reaction chambers, the boiler and powerhouse. Intense heat from attendant fires would spread the damage to this equipment. For a few plants, such equipment might be replaced in 6 to 9 months. But if all were destroyed at one time, they could not be brought back into operation for several years. If, in addition, the important oil refineries of Europe were eliminated, the consequences for Germany would be catastrophic. Over half the crude oil of Europe is processed in the 12 Romanian refineries at Ploiești. If these were destroyed, the Romanian crude could be transported to some 17 modern refineries, most of them in Italy and southern France, now idle because of the blockade. The destruction of all 29 of these refineries, in addition to the 15 hydrogenation plants, would disintegrate the German war economy.